Hey guys, welcome to Brian's Man Cave. So I'm going to be streaming some Atari tonight. Let me just make sure my settings are good. I have to play around with my volume knob here, so I'm not like going deaf. I always forget to do that before I start streaming, to turn my volume down, because I don't want to be hearing it too loud in my
Hey guys,
ears.
welcome to Brian's Man Cave.
Well, let's see here. Alright, I'm just going to check my stream. I don't know what, for whatever reason, my thing wasn't connecting properly in the beginning there. But I got it working. That's good. Just making sure it's working and everything looks good. So yeah, we had the Atari creep there for a minute. He also streams live. Well, he does it on a Instagram. He does his stream on Instagram live, and then then he'll put it out on YouTube like a day later or something like that. I guess maybe Instagram is something he's been doing for a while now, so might as well keep it up. So I'm just going to grab the chat box here so I can just had it up there. Where'd it go? Hey Ryan, what's going on, man? Glad you can make it. I tried to put out, I put out the put it out on Facebook and Twitter and stuff like that as early as I can, but I always got to make sure that I'm going to be able to actually stream before I start putting it out there. I don't want to start telling everybody I'm going to stream and then all of a sudden things pop up, so I try to wait to the last minute. It looks like everything's running. Hey, Evil. What's going on? The ad I had to watch before you started was a fabric softener. Yeah, make sure you use fabric softener. Oh boy. Nothing to do with video games, I guess. They don't really pay attention to who the streamer is. Alright. I'm just going to get things going. Let's play some Keystone Keepers. I don't know why. Maybe because earlier today I was playing a ColecoVision game called The Heist. And it really was reminding me of this game. It was another video I was working on where I just kind of sit down and run through the game a bit. Hey, it's Stu's Reviews. Sorry, Stu's Game Reviews. I know, yeah, I'm pretty sure you're the one that said you had to change your name or something. It used to be Stu's Reviews, now it's Stu's Game Reviews. Because the name was taken by somebody else. One of my favorite Atari 2600 games of all time. Yeah, this was, like I've said this many times, this was the one game that really made me want to buy the Atari. So I actually bought a copy of Princess Rescue, but I'll not disclose how much I paid, since I'm embarrassed. I've seen the cost on those things. I remember when I first started looking into them, and yeah, none of them were cheaper than $100 that I've seen. Is it a complete copy, or is it just the cartridge? Like, you got the box and manual and everything, or is it just a cartridge? Or Dan Kitchen is working on a sequel to this game? No way. Now that's something that's gonna be good. Yeah, stew on the onion. I'd like to see this on the Intellivision Amico. That'd be kind of cool. Like if they made a sequel for the Intellivision. Yeah, I used to play this game a lot. Oh, I still play it. Got a sealed copy. That's nice. That is nice. Maybe one day I'll get my hands on a copy of that game. I don't care if it's sealed, used, or whatever, but if I can at least get one day. I mean, it's either that or just go the flash cart route. I don't know. I keep bringing this up, but whether I should ever buy a flash cart. I mean, for me, it's like I have so many cartridges for my Atari. The only advantage the flash cart would do for me would be for the like the prototypes and all that stuff, which I can just play on my computer. Just so much better to be able to actually play it on a real Atari. See how far I can get before my first death. Usually I just breeze through these levels, and then once things start going crazy speeds, that's when you start to lose. Now I'm gonna have to check out that Dan Kitchen thing. That is interesting. Keystone Cannonball? What? Now it'll be called Dan Kitchen's Gold Rush. Well, you can imagine that a lot of the programmers probably had, like, you know, several ideas for sequels and stuff, and new game ideas for the Atari back in the day. But realistically, I mean, they all couldn't put them all out at the same time, right? And only certain games would get greenlit for production, and even if you made a nice game, like, it still wouldn't be guaranteed it was going to hit the shelves. Might be a licensing thing. Huh. Yeah, licensing is usually what... uh-oh. Whoa! I premature jumped there and almost threw me off my rhythm. Almost died. Yeah, the whole licensing thing, I mean, it's the way I look at it, licensing is a necessary evil with video games, because frankly the license is often what sells us, right? Like, they can make games any way they want, but the moment they start slapping certain titles on them and branding and things like that, that's what really sells us the game. So you think, like, even the earlier Atari with E.T., the Raiders of the Lost Ark, Star Wars, like, slapping that label on a game. But nowadays, like, it's not easy for them to just put out something like that, because you need permission from all these people who now own the rights to them, and it's probably not the same company. Like look, Star Wars is now Disney. Disney is very particular about who uses their license. You know, you got to go through their standards and contracts, and who knows how much you have to pay them. Yeah, Activision owns the rights until the end of time. Well, your typical patent was, what, 50 years? For typical patents, I think? Before things become, like, what do they call that? It's like with movies, when they become, what is it called? Public domain? Or something like that? I don't know if the same runs for video games, or if they can reapply for the patent all the time, or how it works. Like, Baby Pac-Man on the 7800. Now that sounds interesting. Is Baby Pac-Man the same thing as Pac-Man Jr.? Or Junior Pac-Man? Oh, I jumped prematurely. My first hit. Baby Pac. Oh wait, is Baby Pac-Man... was that the one that was half a pinball machine? Or am I thinking of something else? Remember there was like a pinball machine. Damn it. Pac-Man game. I don't think I'm gonna make it. I got hit twice, and the rubber is very far away. Very far. I got 7 seconds. This guy doesn't have any turbo boost. Be nice if you can just, like, get him to run just like a few smidges faster. Oh my god, I got him. Don't ask me how, but I got him. So now things are going faster, and this is where it's like taking your eyes off the screen can be deadly. So I'll try and keep up with the chat while I'm doing this part here. But Yeah, Baby Pac-Man was half pinball machine. Yeah, that I remember. I think John Hancock was talking about that. Somebody was talking about that. That'd be neat to play, like a pinball machine that's both arcade and pinball. And it switches between the two. Yeah, you have to master the elevators. I'm bad at that. I think I only go for the elevators when I'm really stuck. Like when I know I'm not going to make it. It's just the timing of those things. Like if you go too early, the robber dude turns around and then you can't get him. And then you have to go back to the elevator because that's the only way you can go to certain floors. Midnight Magic, yeah. Yes, Midnight Magic was one that I bought along with this one. I think those were the first two games I bought for when I bought my Atari Junior, and it was probably like 89, 90, somewhere around there. I picked up this one and Midnight Magic, and I played the hell out of them. Oh no! I jumped. I don't know why I jumped. I just jumped. This is all about timing. See, at this point, if you can master the elevator there, because it was right on my floor, I probably should have taken it. It's like I'm losing on this level. It gets to a point where you can't literally get hit by anything. Oh, I thought I could get in there. That would have been perfect, too, if I got on that elevator. I would have had him. Because he was coming right towards it. A lot of people get stuck on those balls. Oh geez, he's already up there. Okay. Run! Now there's crap up here too. Dude, run! Run, you can do it! Whew. That was close. You always think time's gonna run out and then just makes it at that last second. Let's see if I can get to the elevator this time. Is it on my floor? Oh, it is! Oh, dang it! I pushed down thinking I had to push down. I totally thought I had to... Yeah, I'm not going to make this one. That's for sure. That's the elevator comes in for me now. Oh, stopped too early. I was like literally stopped right before the elevator. Tried to like fly in there. Crap, the elevator wasn't on my floor. I don't know if I should wait for it. That's the thing, I hate the elevators. It's just, you gotta be ready for them, you gotta be lucky. Oh no, I jumped again. I don't know why I see the airplane and my reaction is to jump. It's terrible. Let's see if I can complete this. Oh no. Jumped again too early. Yeah, the balls take so much time off of you because you have to stop. Yeah, the planes don't do nothing to the crook. He never has to duck anything. He just runs right through everything. Let's see if taking the elevator will do anything. See, he turned around. Oh. He turned around, which is... Oh, I'm screwed. He's going to make it down and I'm screwed. Oh. That was close. Close but no cigar. Oh well. play the other classic Atari Activision game that everybody loved. Let's start at the beginning. This game I wish I did have when I had my original Atari. But it came out, what, I don't know, when did this come out? 87 or? I don't know. You know, I always thought in Keystone Capers it was the crook throwing all that stuff. That's probably why you think that it's not hurting him, but it doesn't make sense because you could see it. Which budget whiskey today? Oh, my usual. The Alberta Premium. I remember playing this on the train when I was coming home from work every day on my cell phone, and I could only get so far because once it started getting to those hard levels, forget it. I mean, with the touch screen controls on a cell phone, forget it. I'd be able to get to like level 6 or 7, and then that would be the end of it. You just don't have the control. And this game, it's all about the controller. It's actually so much easier, I think, playing this on a real Atari joystick. Yeah, the lights are... I mean, I always look at it is... the path is usually the one you want, or the one you shouldn't take, I should say. The path you shouldn't take is the one that looks like it's the right one for you. You know, that's usually the one... They make it look like you should take this path because you see certain things, but it's usually the wrong path. Like, that's when you start hitting the lanterns and you hit the spiders, and even though it looks like it's the better path because you don't have to blow up a wall, but you see, if I went the other way, I would have hit that lantern, and it still would have had a wall. Just watch out. The reason why I say, like, the joystick is important for, like, things like this, where you gotta be fast with it. You can't have your joystick stall on you. You can't have it, you know, miss just a little bit of timing. Yep, that was the wrong one. I mean, I still could have gone through it, just the whole thing would have went dark on me. Whoa. Oh, jeez. I don't know what happened there. I think it's like I said, this playing on a gamepad is not always the best way to play these games. And don't accidentally push down on a joystick. Ah, I hate the water. This is where the game gets hard, when you have to start going into all these underground crevices. Pitfall hero? What? Okay, there we go. Yeah, I've already lost so many men. Typically you don't get that far using this controller. I don't know, I've considered buying that little adapter piece you can get, that you can actually plug a real Atari joystick into the PC and use that. You could also buy those USB ones, but I don't know the quality of them. I don't know if they're that good. I think it's probably the same as just using this thing. Just doesn't have the stiff quality that the real Atari joysticks gave you. Do you like Frankenstein's Monster for the Atari 2600? That's not bad. kind of like that one screen game kind of thing, and I think it's only one screen. And then there's you gotta do something before Frankenstein's monster escapes. It's sort of like a pitfall type of game where you're jumping over. Dang it. I just like at the, you know, if you don't, jeez, if you don't make it, the Frankenstein monster guy escapes and comes towards the screen. Whee. Yeah, at one point I tried to source that game out, or I was considering sourcing it out. It's not cheap though. I mean, it's not. I think they usually go for over 20 bucks on eBay, somewhere around there. Oh shoot! I went the wrong way. Has two screens. It's probably my number 2 favorite after video pinball. Oh, you like video pinball. Sucks that you can't touch the walls. Yeah, pretty much after the first 5 screens, you can't touch the walls in this game. Which way am I going? This way, right? You gotta be careful with your dynamite too, because if you waste it all, then your only option is to shoot the wall. Oh man. To shoot the walls, and that takes forever. John's saying he still plays his. Battle Zone. That's another game I haven't really played much, is Battle Zone. Running out of power. What level am I on? 12. I don't have any more men. I need men. The cool thing about this game too is you can hit the select button and play the later levels. Ah, jeez. If you really want to. Level 12 is not bad. I think that's typically I get to like 12 to 14, I think, is, you know, maybe the 14th level is like the furthest I've ever gotten. Whoops. Escape. What did I do? Went into the debug. There we go. Yeah, it was okay. It was pretty far, but Spitfire attack. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Let's play some Midnight Magic. This game for me is either a hit or a miss. It looks like I have my select on because I got the stoppers and everything. I think if you change the difficulty switch, the stoppers are not there. And you have to earn them. I like how this one has the 2 sets of flippers too. I think that was always my favorite part of this game. Having more than one set of flippers. Yeah, I was just also shooting my Pinbot game for Nintendo. Did a video on that one. Because I already did the Nintendo pinball game. So I thought I'll follow up with the Pinbot. Which actually wasn't too bad. Kind of similar to... Oh no! That sucked. Get up there. That's what I mean. This game, sometimes it's a hit and miss for me. Right? Also, like, sometimes I'll just be like constantly getting the bars up there, and then other times I just never hit them. Just kind of fart around at the middle section. Oh no! Not much you can do when that happens. Oops. I don't know if it's ever more beneficial to just always, you know, hit every flipper, or just to use the one that it's coming towards. There's one thing I noticed about when I was playing that Pinbot game on Nintendo is it didn't have that option to push one button to activate all flippers. I don't know if that's necessary or not. Yeah, the Atari made the screens light up on the TVs. It's always better to play Atari on a real TV, on a real CRT TV, I mean. I mean, you can get them to work on the flat screens and all that, but I like the old CRTs. It really takes you back. Yet, when I used to play my Commodore 64, I used to always use the little monitor that I had for it. And now I can't imagine ever wanting to use that again. I think I'd rather just plug my Commodore 64 into my TV. Which is what I've been doing whenever I do my videos on Commodore 64 games. If I'm using the real Commodore, I plug it into my TV. I don't use the monitor anymore. Although the monitor I have, I think it's really old. I don't even think it works very well. I think it's like losing its color. Now it's just a big paperweight. Yeah, I need an old CRT. Yeah, well, good thing about CRT TVs is a lot of people just throw them out. They actually just haul them to the curb. The TV that I do a lot of my videos on now, my neighbor threw it out. They just put it to the curb, and I went and picked it up. And it's a fairly big one, too. I mean, the sucker was heavy. Like, carrying it across the road wasn't fun. And then I had to take it down into the basement, but I also have another CRTV that I've used to use, and it's a little bit smaller, but that thing's been kicking now for over 40 years. Or maybe not 40, maybe 30 some odd years. I mean, they're built to last, those things. I've gone through like 3 flat screens, or two flat screens in the time I've gone through one CRT. The CRT's still kicking. Who dares win C64 game? Yeah. I mean, the CRT TVs are heavy, but then again, the flat screens are awkward, so... Like, lifting up a flat screen, like the one we have downstairs, it's like a 55-inch flat screen. And the thing's just awkward when you pick it up. It's not really heavy, it's just awkward. And it doesn't feel like you can really grab it anywhere, because you don't want to bust the screen. So it's like, you gotta kind of lift it up gently and put it into the little plastic stand. Whereas the CRTV, those things are just big, clunky pieces of furniture. But I was thinking about kind of doing away with the CRTV and just getting a smaller, like maybe an older flat screen TV that you know, has a much sharper picture. I don't know. If I can get one at a good price. Like something smaller that I can put downstairs instead of using the old CRTs. So I do find that sometimes the image does come out a little bit staticky. And they're not going to last forever. I mean, these TVs are going on like 30 plus years. Eventually something's going to burn out on them, and I'm not going to try and get somebody to repair it. Probably cost more than if I just went and bought a new TV. Oh no! Come on, go back up! Back up! Ah! I almost made it. Just got me an old Vectrex last Thanksgiving. That's awesome. Did you pay a lot of money for it, though? I mean, Vectrex are those things where sometimes they're cheap if you can find them, and then other times people mark them up to like over $400. And it's like, well, I'm not going to be paying that kind of money. Let's see, what else can we play? Smurf. I know. I like this version. Donkey Kong. Man, it would have been so great if this one came out instead of the one we got. This one's actually pretty cool. This feels like Donkey Kong. Pitfall 2 is a cool game too. Yeah, for sure. Pitfall 2. I want to play Pitfall 2 on the 5200 because apparently there's that bonus stage that I want to try and get to. Even though I'm not the greatest at Pitfall 2. I mean, the last time I played it on my stream, I think I got to the end, but I missed the diamond ring or something. So I didn't fully complete it. And I think to get to that bonus stage, I think you have to get all the items or something. That would be neat to see. I don't know, if I get enough games I can do a stream of the 5200. Pretty sure I can get it to work. I already did a video on Mario Brothers. Mario Brothers on the 5200. I mean, sure, this is flickery as hell, but it still looks decent for being an Atari 2600. There's also another one I had that was pretty decent as well. It's too bad because I could never get this to work on my Flashback Portable, which is still missing in action. I don't know where it is. I don't know if I'm gonna have to like dig through my basement if it's down there, or if my daughter lost it somewhere, took it in the car, took it somewhere, left it. I don't know. My Flashback Portable is gone. Kind of sucks because I really liked it. I took it on vacation with me last year. We're going on vacation again next week, so I guess I'll have to take my Nintendo Switch instead. That'll be pretty fun though. I have Donkey Kong on the Switch. I really wish I could stream in television games, but once I improve my setup and do things properly, then I'll probably be able to. I don't know when that'll be. I hope to one day, because that'll be fun too. Yeah, seizure warning, for sure. It's because they can't, you know, Donkey Kong, it looks like what they're doing is they're drawing him one frame, like, drawing him on one side and then removing him and then drawing him on the second side. And it's going really fast to give you the illusion that he's one whole thing, when really it's just a screen drawing it, and then it's just like an Atari trick that they use. Also, they can't have multiple sprites like that on a screen on the Atari. I think they can only have like 2 or something. And so they have to do a trick where some will disappear and then others, like, I don't know. It's all programming, but that's why we get flickering on the Atari. Because it can only handle so much at a time. I think even the Intellivision runs into that same issue. Is that it? Just beat it once? And it's stuck? Guess I've never gotten that far before. Didn't realize it did that. Blinky goes up. Let's go into... Let's give this a go. It's been a while since I tried this one. Intellivision Pinball is a great early pinball. I love that one. Yeah, on the Intellivision, that's my favorite one. I was really impressed when I first got it. And that was a late title for me. I mean, when I first bought pinball on the Intellivision, crap. It was at a time where I was not even thinking about ever buying another Intellivision game. Because, oh, geez, I'm doing terrible. It's been a while since I played this, I guess. I'm gonna get back into the zen rhythm of this game. Yeah, it was like a while, and I went in. I remember going into a computer store with my friend, and they had a few Intellivision titles. Hey, Extreme Wreck! And Pinball was one of them, and Bump and Jump was the other, and something inside me was like, that might be cool. Even though my Intellivision was, you know, on its last legs during those days. I can't get anywhere in this game. There we go. Oh, trap. Bomb. Have you ever heard of Solar Storm for the Atari 2600? I don't remember if I've heard of that or not. Oh, jeez. Solar Storm. Doesn't ring a bell. Come on. This game's so annoying. All he does is fall. It's a magic shooter. Huh. Something I need to do is really focus on some of my Magic titles again. I mean, I did that Dragon... Was it, Dragonfire or whatever? Oh my god. All you do is just keep falling. I'm not getting my web to line up on the... Oh yeah, I caught somebody. This always reminds me of the original Batman series on TV with Adam West. When they were climbing the buildings and then the people would pop out of the window. You could totally tell that they just kind of had the camera on the side and people were just kind of like popping their heads up out of a box. Like, because they were always on this weird angle, like they came out like this, and like, it was hilarious. And of course the way they were walking, it was like, you could see they propped their capes up so it looked like they were actually climbing a building. Let's see if I can get to the top this time. Whoa, just spun the web at the dude. I don't know if I would have had the patience for this game when I was a kid, to tell you the truth. Yeah, his web's like the frogs and flies' tongue. Only crappier. Oh, jeez. Same sound? That's true, yeah. Didn't didn't play Frogs and Flies a lot. When I was younger, I played Frog Bog on the Intellivision, which essentially is the same game, but I didn't play Frog Bog a lot. No. Yeah, I haven't even made it up to the top yet. That's pretty sad. This is a candidate for watch me suck at this game. Although I ended up doing Superman instead. Let's see if I can get up. I think I tried doing this video, or a video on this before on my TV downstairs, and the color scheme was really messing with the camera. When I was just trying to do my typical capture the TV kind of thing. Oh no, Green Goblin. Or Hobgoblin, or whoever that is. I think it's the Green Goblin. Yeah, he's green, so it's gotta be the Green Goblin. Finally! Holy crap! That only took, what, 50 deaths? Now it's pretty much the same thing, but the building's red. Pink, or salmon colored, whatever. I know you're really supposed to be saving the people. That's the whole point of this. You're not just supposed to be racing to the top. How about Frog Pond for the 2600? I think I played that on my Frogs game, or my Frogs video. I did a video a little while back called Video Game Frogs. And I played Frogger, Frog Pond, Frogs and Flies. Just played all these frog-based games. Frog Pond, I think that was like a prototype, or it was, I think it ended up on the flashback systems. That's how I ended up playing it. I think I was using my flashback, and I hooked the flashback up to the TV. Dang it. Come on. I really mean show you obscure stuff when it comes to DOS games. DOS games, oh yeah. Kind of miss playing on the old computers. I have a few old computers in my basement still, but I don't have all of the necessary components to hook them up. And I thought about it. I'm like, you know, should I look for like the specific wires I need and all that? I'm like, whatever. I think I have one that still has like Windows 95 on it or something. Or maybe Windows 98. This game gets tedious after a while. Oh, I thought I was going to get blown up there. Let's just go straight up. Wait for the bombs to blow up. No! 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 Come on! Oh. I was going to fall to my death there. Come on, Spider-Man, you can do it. Speaking of Spider-Man, does anybody have a favorite of the 3 different types of Spider-Man movies we had? I mean, if you look at Tobey Maguire's versus Andrew Garfield versus the whoever the new guy is in that Avengers series. Brian, you should hook up with another YouTube and play Atari 2600 against each other like boxing. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool, but they'd have to be somebody close by. I mean, it wouldn't be easy to try and stream, like, to get 2 players to work like that. I never liked Spider-Man. Yeah, he was never my favorite superhero. Mine's always been Batman. I've just always liked Batman more than I've liked anything else. Oh, hey, we got Green Lantern in there. Didn't see you pop in. I know I'm late, but I have a good excuse. I was tempted to record a video for Retro Nostalgic. Oh, cool. So he got you doing that too, eh? Yeah, I sent my video to him today as well. He's doing his 3rd anniversary. So he asked if he's asked a bunch of people, I guess, to put together some a little video for him. The new one is doing good. They're finally getting into the stories and not retell the origin. Yeah. I watched that one, the what was it, Spider-Man Homecoming, and I was okay with it. I thought I was gonna hate it. I have to admit I'm not into the new Avengers stuff. I liked Iron Man with, you know, the original, just the Iron Man movie. I didn't really care for Thor. What else did I don't know. It's the Hulks, you know, whatever. Like some of them, I'm just not too into the. I don't know. So I like the Batman. I like the superheroes that are a little bit more human-like, if that makes sense. And even with the DC universe, I didn't mind the Superman, you know, Man of Steel movie or whatever it was called. But I just kind of found that I don't know, there's something about it. It was okay, but it's kind of boring at certain parts. And even the Superman versus Batman, I was like, you know, they could have cut out an hour of that movie and I would have been fine. I don't think I was supposed to fall down there. Yeah, no more origin story. We know Uncle Ben died. Well, yeah, they did the same thing with the Batman one too, right? With when they showed the origins of Batman with what's his face? The latest Batman guy. I forgot his name. Stop rebooting it and you won't have to tell the origin. That's true. Yeah, because they can't not give you the origin story, because people that just get into the series who haven't seen the original or don't know the origin, you're going to be like, what's going on? Also, they have a chance to kind of modify a slight bit to fit with their storyline. So will you play Solar Storm after Pitfall 2? Yeah, we can give it a shot. Don't know if I played it before, but Suicide Squad. I thought it was okay. I mean, obviously it was, you know, certain characters were more prominent than others. I didn't really like the Joker in the, you know, I don't know. I guess I'm not a fan of Jared Leto's Joker. Doesn't look like the Joker to me. He looks like a punk pimp, if that makes any sense to anyone. Although I'm very curious about this new Joker that's coming out with Joaquin Phoenix. Even though it's not a Batman movie and Batman has nothing to do with it. It seems really interesting. It's again another origin story though. I mean, Joker himself has got so many freaking origins. And some none at all. Like with the Jack Nicholson Joker, you got an origin, but then with Heath Ledger's Joker, you get no origin. So it's like, pick your poison. Hip hunk Joker man. See, this is Pitfall 2 where I don't know which ones to go on. And this is going to be my problem when I tackle the Atari 5200 version, is to not know which ones to stop at. I love Suicide Squad. I was hoping they would do a second one and get to the good stories. I remember watching a Suicide Squad on TV on like the movie network, and it was a cartoon, but it was not like, it was actually like a gritty cartoon, and there was violence, like there was actually like blood they started off like killing off one of the characters. I don't know what it was. It was like a Suicide Squad show or movie on. And it was animated, and I thought it was really good. I think Batman was in it too. That's why I started watching it. And I was impressed. Just like the Killing Joke. I was actually impressed by that too. Alright, let's see if I have that. What was it called? Solar Storm? Let's see what I got. Oops. Wrong. All wrong. That's how the Joker came out originally. No origin, just a tornado with a laugh. Yeah, and then there was that, what was it, that Gotham show that was on TV, which seemed kind of neat, but I just never got into watching all of them. Like, I watched, very rarely I watched them. But I did watch the last one, where I think it was the last one of the season, or series, or whatever. And they did have that Joker. He looked kind of weird. Solar Storm. Oh, it's a paddle game. I wonder if I have this. I might have actually... Whoa. Did I ever play this before? I can see now why it's a paddle game. Yeah, it's hard to control this thing with the regular D-pad. Let's try it with a mouse. I always forget that the paddle games you can use a mouse. This is a little bit easier now with the mouse. I remember Willie, Arcade USA Willie, he did a video where he converted a regular mouse and kind of mixed it in with an original Atari paddle controller to play games like this on his emulator. And so he can actually use an Atari paddle, which had the, you know, he took the guts of the mouse and retrofitted it into the paddle and made it work. He had to order some parts though to make it, to do that. He had to use like, I think he had to use some cardboard or something. This is Solar Storm. The firing on this is kind of funky. It's really like it's like a flash of lightning. I guess because, you know, you're using a paddle controller, you can't go up or down, right? So it's just left and right. Whoa. What does that mean? Paddle game of madness. Am I supposed to be doing something? Oh, I see. Well, that was weird. Crazy, lighting effects in this one. You guys are saying the other game was going to give you seizures. That Donkey Kong game, this is worse. Imagine playing this in a room in the dark at nighttime. Your whole room would be flashing with the TV. That'd be fun. It's almost kind of like reminding me of Astro Smash, or the Atari's version of Astro Blast. Only it's like not as many things coming down at you. Whoa. Also kind of reminds me of Gorf. I think it's the way the ship looks. You know what I need to play is Gorf on the ColecoVision. I need to do a... I don't think I played that yet on my channel. Well, I don't think I did the ColecoVision one yet. Or did I? I know I did one. I did one of the Gorf games. Maybe it was the Atari one. It's also reminding me of Astro Smash, but that game was more insane. Yeah, I like Astro Smash on the Intellivision. I used to play that one like all the time. That was like usually when I was a kid and I fired up my Intellivision, that was like the first game I plugged in was Astro Smash. I always had to get a good game of Astro Smash in. I'd be playing that for like a while, just trying to see how many you know, how far I can get. Astro Blast is not bad. It's a little bit harder in my opinion. I don't know why. This is weird. Looks like you control that little white dot and then you kind of just... It's hard to hit anything. Do these things kill you? Whatever that thing is below me, that... I used to have Gorf on, I think, the Atari 8-bit. Oh, that would be cool. The arcade is much harder. I bet, yeah. The arcade's always harder. This game's kind of crazy. I don't know if I have this one, like an actual card of it. Let's play Snoopy. I don't know if this is a good version of it. Criminal Pursuit. Going after the Red Baron. This is another game that I was at one point considering if I should try and get my hands on it. Oh, Gorf for the 5200. Yeah, I need to see like what video I did. I don't know if I did the Coleco one or if I did the Atari one, because I know I have both. I might have done the Atari one on my channel. Leland is saying I could see why the seizure warning was so important on video games. Yeah, especially the old ones like these. A lot of flickering, a lot of noise, a lot of flashing. Never knew this existed. Love Snoopy. Yeah, Snoopy and the Red Baron. I mean, there's not a lot to this game. It's literally just flying around trying to shoot this freaking Red Baron. The scenery looks nice. Whoa, did I get him? You could really make out that that's Snoopy on his flying doghouse. Did I get him? I got him. Yeah, I remember at one point I was thinking about like doing a video on this, but there isn't a whole lot that goes on in this game. I mean, it's literally just this. I don't even know if there's even a second level to this, or it goes beyond this. It's really not. What happened here? Did I get two of them? I did. I think back in the day, if you were one store with Atari games didn't carry it, you had no idea it existed. Yeah, well, before the internet, we didn't know a lot of games existed, and even when we did have them, you pretty much didn't know how to play half of them properly. Because, you know, today you can just go online, you can go on YouTube, you can find it 100 different ways. The objective is to not let yourself get shot to pieces. Yeah, exactly. That's another good Space Raid. You had a Sears and Hills catalog. Yeah, pretty much the catalog. Yeah. That's the thing. I didn't have a lot of stuff like that. I guess I was too young. I was too young in the day to know a lot of the games that came out. And so you really just had whatever your parents bought you or whatever. Like there, I knew of some of the popular stuff. Like I always knew like Burger Time and Pac-Man and stuff like that. But up and down. Okay, let's give Venture a try again. There was play per minute hotlines to help offer game advice before the mags with cheats and guides. Kind of like the Nintendo hotline. Or you can do what I did when I got older. I used to just go into like the bookstores and just hit the magazine rack or go to the books that had the cheat books and all that and read it in the store. I hardly ever bought them. I have like 2 books. One I got from a friend and the other one I actually paid for. And I remember I bought it because I wanted to learn how to do the -1 warp zone trick in the on Super Mario Brothers. And so I bought the book because it had that trick in there and I wanted to learn how to do it. Also had a whole bunch of other stuff in there, but yeah, I did a video on that a while ago too, where I did the -1 warp zone trick and the unlimited lives. Well, not unlimited, but tons and tons of lives trick. Yeah, Brent saying that most games came with advertisements for other games and live. Yeah, the Intellivision was good at that. Almost every single Intellivision game you bought had that little black booklet, and it had a whole bunch of games in there. But you know that the problem with that is it becomes outdated really fast because it's only going to give you whatever games they projected they were going to create or what's out at the time. But then anything newer, you're kind of stuck. And you know, I ended up with a lot of those books, but a lot of them had the same games in them, so you'd have to buy newer games and hope that they updated the book. Ah, I ran into the guy. I've never tried calling those Nintendo hotlines or the Sega hotline or anything like that. I guess I just figured if I couldn't figure it out, oh well. Or if a friend didn't know how to do it. Oftentimes friends would tell you. We'd be playing games like Legend of Zelda or Dragon Warrior or something, and usually a friend would know some trick that you didn't know. Or you just keep playing the hell out of it until you figured it out. Nice crowd here today. Oh yeah, there's lots of great people in the chat today. Happy to see Green Lantern was able to make it today and not come in at the last 5 minutes. I know he's had that happen a few times. I missed the 3rd level. I like the Intellivision one of this one. The ColecoVision. Ah, crap. ColecoVision version, because they have the 3rd level. Yeah, I already did that. And I don't like that it doesn't, like, change after you complete the board. Like on the Intellivision and the Coleco, it usually, like, goes solid. The whole room goes solid, so you can tell you've been there. I mean, it's not a big deal, but it's just for a nice visual aid. Show that you actually completed the Like there's nothing. It doesn't change at all. Could have at least kind of filled in the door gap or something. Oh crap, Evil Otto's coming after me soon. Well, it's not Evil Otto. It's a hall monster, but very similar to Evil Otto from Berserk. Die. Yeah, those calls were not cheap. I remember in the movie The Wizard when they were calling that hotline to learn how to beat certain games. There's supposedly a new Atari console coming out. You're talking about the Atari VCS? Formerly known as the Atari box? Yeah, they've been talking about that now for over a year. Well over a year. People are skeptical about it because there's not a lot of information. And other things have come out, or supposedly were going to come out. Like the Coleco Chameleon and all that, where people got burned. So yeah, I can see why people are not really taking the new Atari seriously. But the Intellivision, Amico, the new Intellivision, is definitely being... It's something that's happening. I mean, Tommy Tallarico is working hard, and he's got like a lot of people working on that project, and it's going to happen. He's got a release date. He's constantly doing new promotions for it. He's showing it off. They're gonna, like, actually next week there's gonna be another release of what the games are. And so, I mean, I don't know. The Atari VCS, it seems like they have something, but they're just not showing much. So we just don't know. We don't know what's going on. Atari VCS Archive. Love the arcade version of Venture. Yeah, I did a video on that one too. That was kind of fun. Much harder. Definitely harder. I would say the arcade's the hardest one, and then probably Coleco's is, you know, I find the Atari one kind of hard too. It's I don't know what it is, but let's play some video pinball. I've already played the other pinball. Like, I don't know what's going to happen with that new Atari. I don't know if it's going to be vaporware or if it's, you know, even the Atari creep is kind of like he's holding out for it. He's hoping for it. He's hoping the best. But he just did a video himself where he was saying, you know, so far the Intellivision is winning when it comes to this is going to be a system that's going to actually do something. And like, they actually have stuff to show. They actually have, you know, demos and stuff. But the Atari VCS, they have really nothing. They just have a prototype look and feel. And they haven't showed us much. I remember a reboot of Intellivision was once an April Fool's joke. Oh. Yeah, I'm sure at one point the idea that the Intellivision would ever come back was just like a fantasy. But because Tommy Tallarico really took over after Keith passed away, he really wanted to make this thing happen. And he's got a goal in mind, and he wants to bring a certain experience back. He doesn't want to just bring something that's going to try and compete with the, you know, the video game market. Like, you know, he's not making it to compete with the Xbox or the PlayStation or anything else. Like, he's definitely developing something, and he's looking a lot into, actually he's looking at a lot of the Nintendo marketing, because, you know, Nintendo really hit home to a lot of people who are not actual video gamers. And that's what he's trying to do. I mean, he's trying to, like, push for the push for a different market of video games. You're watching Predator 2 in the background? Oh man, Predator 2. That movie was something else. Can't say I like Predator 2 better than 1. Predator 1 is an awesome movie. I mean, you got Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jesse Ventura, Ace Ventura, Jesse Ventura. Got the whole army scene going on there. They go into, I mean, it feels like a war movie, but then it turns into an alien movie. Like, it's real cool. You know what I find about this pinball game is that the ball kind of goes pretty crazy on its own for quite a while. Doesn't often come down to the flippers. Maybe someday they'll reboot the N gauge. Oh god. Wasn't that thing a failure from day one? Whoa, my ball is just going nuts. It would have been even better with Ace Ventura. I don't know why I said Ace Ventura instead of Jesse Ventura. The N-Gage was way ahead of it. Wasn't that portable gaming device, the N-Gage? Isn't that what it was? It was like a, almost like a Game Boy thing or something? You'd be doing Criminal Pursuit next. I'll see if I got it. I'm not familiar with that, but I'll see if I got it. Come on, let's do... That's what I'm saying. This game is kind of weird. Like, you can almost just, like, get the ball going and then go downstairs, get yourself a coffee, come back up, the ball's still going. Gets kind of stuck up in there. Okay, let's see if I got that other one then. What was it? Criminal Pursuit? Not seeing it. Did it have any other name to it? Back in the day, we'd get the ball going, go watch some damn Benny Hill. Oh yeah, I love Benny Hill. Benny Hill was the... I went through a phase where I pretty much had to watch Benny Hill every night before I went to bed. You're supposed to tilt the board slightly by using the fire button. I forgot, yeah, they had a tilt. Totally forgot about that tilt. Oh, well. Hey, Ryan J. Thanks for the super chat. That's awesome of you. You missed it. Did I miss it? I have MASH on the background. I want to play MASH. There it is. Criminal Pursuit. A.K.A. Mysterious Thief. Whoa. Okay. Buying you a shot of Canadian whiskey. Hey, thanks, man. I waste too much money on that stuff. It's my vice. I don't know. Let's see what this... Oh, whoa, what am I looking at? Is this the right game? Okay. Whoa, who's that guy? The Riddler? Or is he Robin Hood? Canadian whiskey is $2 a shot. I wish. It's more than that. You go to a restaurant and you want to order like like maybe a shot or two of whiskey, you're paying like $6, $7 Canadian. What is going on here? Oh, okay. Oh, a dog. Is that Wait. What just happened there? Okay. Guess you can jump. How do you... Okay, maybe it's those pink things? Okay, so the pink things get you up. Oh my god. Buying you a quarter. Yeah. It's a little bit. I can tell you a bottle, 750 milliliter bottle, is about here, about $28 Canadian. That's a lot of money. That's why it's weird for me when I go to like, or when I see things like in Mexico or wherever where it's like $9 for a full bottle of something. Yeah, it's pretty expensive. Okay, I'm running away from dogs or something. Looks like a chihuahua. Guess you just gotta make your way up and avoid these killer pooches. Can you go down? Oh, okay, that's the moon. I guess. Or is that Pac-Man up there? Is that Pac-Man? Looks like a Pac-Man. No, maybe it's a moon. I guess I can go down. Oh yeah, I can. Okay. So I guess you're just trying to steal all those things. You have to avoid the dog and the police from the windows. Oh, there's police too? Oh, is that what that is? It's a cop in the window. Okay. Now things are making sense. You gotta remember, with Atari, sometimes you have to use your imagination too, right? If the manual doesn't tell you what it is, you might not figure that out. Okay, so I get it. So it's kind of like... Oh. It's kind of like the opposite of Keystone Capers. Only instead of you're not the cop in this one, you're the robber. Ah! The Switch is really expensive in Canada also. Yeah. You know, that was the thing with when I was trying to decide if I wanted to buy one or not. It was really a hard choice because, you know, the amount of money it costs, and the games themselves are insane. Like, so, well, the signature games like, you know, Zelda and Mario and all that. Have you played Oink before? I think I have played it before. Now that I think about it. This is a strange game. Did this ever come to North America, or was this like PAL region only? What's with the guy's arm like hanging out like that? That is so weird. Okay, let's try Oink. It's been a while. Switch is really expensive in Canada. They tack on extra 100 even before the... Yeah. You see, that was the thing. Like, I got mine during the... it was in March... During March 10th, where they call, you know, March 10th is like Mario Day or whatever. They had some sale going on, and the Switch was on sale. The Mario Brothers game was on sale. Actually, it was like almost, not quite. I think it was maybe closer to 50% off. I don't know. It was cheap, and so I bought my Switch, and I bought the Legend of Zelda game and the Mario U, Super Mario U, because it was cheaper. It was like on sale. I almost considered buying Odyssey, but I thought, you know, I should just stick to more of a 2D platform style game, just in case. It was going to get a North American release, but ultimately never released until Suntuck somehow managed to get the prototype and release it in Europe. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Oink, oink, oink. Where is it? Oink. There it is. might not remember how to play this. This is, oh, this is the, yeah, okay. All right, thanks a lot, Ryan. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for the super chat. That was really nice of you. And hope you have a good night. Yeah, I talked about Oink on my amazing, was awesome games from A to Z, with the three little pigs kind of feel to it. How do you do this again? Oh yeah. Okay, so you got to fill in the holes. The wolf is trying to break her. That's it. It's literally just repairing the damage that that wolf is doing down there. He's trying to blow a hole in your... This game can get kind of tedious as well. I have a few other Atari games that I need to really sit down and play again and really get familiar with, and one of them is Pressure Cooker. Cause that's an it looks like it should be a real fun game. I was thinking of that because I was just, you know, I'm working on my next awesome games from A to Z, and it's P. So I ended up including Pressure Cooker in there. That and what was the other one? Kind of split my mind right now. The uh-oh. Craving bacon. Oh jeez. I'm in trouble. Oh, hey, the Atari Creep. He made it. Yes, the Atari Creep. Like I said in the beginning, he was doing his Instagram stream at the same time I was doing mine. He always does his Sunday night Instagram. To tell you the truth, I was planning on actually streaming a little bit earlier than I ended up doing it, but you know, things came up when you have family. It's not easy. Hey, RC from the NYC, $5. Wow, thanks, man. That's totally nice of you. Hope all is well. Absolutely, everything is well. It's a typical Sunday night playing some video games. Wish it was another long weekend, but it's not. Although I am going on vacation after next week, so that'll be fine. Yeah, so next week I don't know if I'll be uploading a lot of stuff because I'll be on vacation, so but it's only for a week. It's only for like Monday to Thursday we're gone, so I don't know. I might just now that I know I can schedule videos, I might just schedule a video anyways, and then I'll still be able to launch a video. I just won't be able to, you know, I might not be on top of any of the comments and stuff like that, and be able to promote it as well because I'm going to be on vacation. So this game is very nostalgic for me. One of the earliest gaming memories ever. My older cousin had it, and I would play it versus my. Let's go. Oh, that's awesome, man. I'm actually thinking of doing some kind of book where I talk about people's gaming memories. So that might be fun if you want to connect with me, and then anybody here in the chat that's interested in something like that. I'm working on a questionnaire thing, and what I'm thinking of is putting together a book of video gaming memories. I don't know how I'm going to structure it yet, but I've been talking with Patrick Hickey Jr., who does the Minds Behind the Game book series, and he thinks it's a pretty good idea, so I've never tried to write a book before, but you know, I was trying to think what could be a good thing I could write about that I can actually kind of give my little piece to the community that's not already been done to death. And that's something I thought of, so A lot of people have some great video gaming memories that they would love to share. Hey, Jay Rushing, what's going on? Have you been playing any metal tonight? Any music? Brian the author. Yeah, right. No, I mean, what I was thinking was, having my own section in there, talking about my own memories and my own stuff like that. But, something I've noticed that people like to hear is other people's stories of what, their gaming memories and stuff. So I figure if I can structure something and put together some kind of questionnaire and get some stuff out of people and kind of put something together that I can kind of pitch to some of the publishers out there. You never know, right? I think a lot of people would be into that. Yeah, I know a guy who covers the history of Battlefield 2 Modern Combat. That game is worthy of a book on its own. So Hell Driver next. The hell's Hell Driver? Nah, man, I'm hanging with y'all. No gig tonight? It was funny, I was like thinking about back when I used to be in a band, and I still have a video, like an old videotape, back from, like, this must have been early 90s, and we had a friend at the time, like we were all in, it was grade 11, grade 12, somewhere around there, and we had a friend who had a video camera, and he came to one of our gigs, and he filmed it. So I was watching it the other day. I mean, it's not the greatest quality at all. I mean, the lighting is crap, and the sound, like, he's walking around with this camera, and there's times where he walks closer up to the drummers, and all of a sudden the drums get really loud, and then he walks away, and then the guitar gets really loud, and there's parts where he walks over, and it's like close-ups of me playing my guitar, and it was really weird. Like, it was fun watching it, just to listen to the old songs that we used to play, and some of the originals that I wrote was really fun. There's even some nudity in it. There's one of the band members, his girlfriend, ended up flashing the camera at one point. I don't know why she did that, but it was really weird. And I still remember after we got the videotape done, and we went back to where we used to practice in our band. It was the guitar player's house. It was actually his girlfriend that flashed the camera. And we were watching the video for the first time, and she did that, and we all just, like, literally fell over laughing, and he just, like, he went red. I mean, his face just went red. He's like, what the hell? It was so funny. Yeah, it's hard to get justice on live recordings back then. Yeah, I mean, that was an old videotape with the old, those little high eights or whatever, those little miniature videotape things they put in there, and then he had to, like, edit it properly. Like, it's not like today where you can just pull out a cell phone and freaking get video in seconds. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, it was interesting. Some of the songs that we had were pretty fun. Like, we played all different kinds of music. Like, it wasn't just like one kind of style of music that we played. So it would be a good game to kind of end this off with. Obelix. I want to see the video, Brian. Yeah, it's on videotape. I need to get a captured thing so I can actually capture it onto digital, so it's not gone forever. Because if that videotape ever dies on me, like, if the tape quality goes, then it's gone forever. It's just like some of our audio tapes. We have a few audio tapes of our band practice, and I actually have, like, just before our band broke up, actually, we were in the studio, and we laid down 2 songs, and then our bass player quit on us, and then from there it just kind of went downhill, and we were just screwed, and that was it. We ended up with 2 songs that we put onto a so I have some old crappy tape with 2 songs on it, but whatever. Hell Driver is an let me see if I have that Hell Driver. I've never heard of it, but let's see. I always get these requests for games I've never heard of. Hell Driver. there. H-E Helldriver. Oh, it's a racing game. Whoa! Wasn't expecting that. What? What's happening? Okay. So it's kind of like Grand... Ooh. Jeez. It's quite the explosion. Don't even have a copy of one of my CDs? Oh, sucks because the screen is kind of covering up my chat. Hold on a sec. Just want to see what... But I do what they want me to pay me. Man, I don't even have a copy of one of my own my CDs. Well, that's kind of shitty. The singer of one of my bands had all our shows on VHS transferred to a thumb drive. I should try to upload it sometime. Late 90s goodness. Yeah, that was us, the 90s. I mean, we were playing a lot of just different stuff. Definitely back up your analog tapes. I've lost so much stuff because of water damage, cat pee. Oh, just tapes, like, after a while they stretch and stuff and they become crap. Or your VCR eats it. I'm trying to play this without... I don't know, it just keeps going over my chat thing. So I can see half the chat. Another upgrade I need to do, when I buy a new computer, I want to be able to have 2 monitors hooked up. That way I can have, like, if I do streaming like this, I can have, like, the game in one monitor and my chat in the other. Sometimes the game window just covers up the chat screen. I can't see a damn thing. It's either that or I set up another computer beside me that has the chats going, which I used to do a long time ago. I always set up a secondary laptop just so I can see the chats. So what is this game like? It's kind of like Grand Prix, but there's cars coming at you. This is weird. Guess you gotta stay in your lane? Holy crap. This is interesting. Oh, man. Alright, I officially stink at this game. I don't know what's going on. You have to stay in your lane or what? Alright, okay, so maybe if I just bounce between 2 lanes. Oh, jeez. It's crazy. So we got Brian and Atari Creep on bands that broke up. Anyone else in a band? We can start a new band right here. Yeah, that'd be fun. Just get a $15 USB VGA adapter and connect a monitor to it. You get crap frame rate, but you don't need 60 frame rates for chat. Oh, interesting. We're so lucky to have 4K on our cell phones, yeah. Yeah, I'll play drums for the chat band. No one else will. Otherwise, I'll call guitar. Yeah. Well, I always remember that was always the hard part, was finding a drummer. Like, when we started our band, I literally... the guy that we had for bass, I talked to him at school. He was in my class. And, I asked him if he played bass or if he played any instruments, and he said no. But he was really into like the same music as me. He was into Nirvana and all that stuff. And so I thought, well, hell, if I teach you, you want to start a band? And he's like, okay. So I actually literally, the guy came to my house. I gave him I let him play on my bass, and I taught him how to play bass. And he went out and bought his own bass. And then another guy in my class, who knew we were starting a band, he's like, I play guitar, so then we had him, and we just needed a drummer, and that was like the hard part, was finding a drummer, and it just ended up, my cousin was learning how to play drums, so we brought her on board. So we had my cousin, female drummer, and that's how we started our band. Was, because I was in a band prior to that one, but the guys were kind of jerks, so I had to make my own band, and then it was interesting because my cousin couldn't do the drumming anymore. So then my bass player that I taught how to play bass jumped onto the drums and said, "Screw it, I'll play the drums." And then I'm like, "Okay, that's cool, but now we need a bass player." And so I met this friend at college, and I'm like, "Dude, do you want to be in my band? I'll teach you how to play bass." He's like, "Sure." So I brought him home and I taught him how to play bass, and then he took over playing bass, and I mean, it was really weird, but we ended up pulling together a 5-person band at one point, and we were doing a lot of gigs in Toronto and stuff. We played the Alma Combo, we played the Opera House. Like, there's all these like big places. Like, I was standing on the same stage that Kurt Cobain played on and the Rolling Stones. So I thought that was pretty cool. You know, even though we didn't, get that far, and it was oftentimes it was a shit show, but it was fun nonetheless. I enjoyed it. Background is so strange, gives you the blast vibes. Yep, that's why I learned to play drums. Yeah, for sure. What instruments do you play? Mainly guitar and bass guitar. I love bass guitar. I really enjoyed playing bass guitar. I mean, Cliff Burton from Metallica was my favorite bassist, so I spent so much time learning how to play Anesthesia, Pulling Teeth from their first album, because it's like a bass solo. And I bought a wah pedal and a distortion pedal and all that stuff just so I can play that properly on my bass guitar. And then I mean, I was totally into bass, but then I ended up really getting into guitar as well. And I found with guitar it was easier to write songs with them because you can actually play a guitar and write a song. And I was the primary songwriter in the band, so I switched myself over from bass to playing lead guitar. And so then I was doing that pretty much. I can't play drums to save my life. I am not a drummer at all. Are you a big Nirvana fan? I certainly am. Oh yeah, I was totally into Nirvana. When my friend introduced me to Nirvana, it was the Bleach album that I got into. Even though the Nevermind album was the one everybody was listening to, I started listening to Bleach, and then I got into Nevermind, and then I was hooked on their then pretty much everything that they put out, I got into it. Seriously though, play Space Canyon can be a space cavern hack, but it's an experience of its own league. The only drumming I did was when I would kick my drummer's kit, smashing it with my guitar. Actually, bass solo, take one. There was I remember one song we played in our band where we decided we would do this whole everybody switch instruments. So I moved over to the drums, the bass player went on the guitar, and the guitarist went on the bass. And we did this weird song, but it was really like very simple. Like literally my drumming was just like bass drum, snare, bass drum, snare, bass drum, snare, cymbal, bass drum, snare. Like it didn't go beyond that because I cannot, I'm just not coordinated. I don't know. I cannot play drums. I tried so many times. I suck at drums, so it's not an option for me. I tried learning piano, keyboard, and all that, but and one song I used a harmonica on it, but it's just never really stuck with me. A really weird experience, we should say. Space King. See if I can find it. But yeah, I'll definitely look into it. Even I remember in school, before we actually like really had the band up and running, we were literally just putting it together, and we did in our media class, which is where I met my band members. We had to do a video. We had to create a video, and so we decided to do a music video, and it was the one of the songs that we played, and it was an original. And we created this video. We actually created the script, and it was kind of fun. The song was called Mental BS, and it was like I kind of wrote it about somebody in a mental institution who wanted to get out of a mental institution. And so we created this whole idea of having the band member, one of the band members, he was the bass player at the time, and he kind of gets caught doing a crime and gets thrown into a mental asylum. And so we went over to the police station, and we actually ended up shooting footage in the police station with actual cops in the background. Like, we asked for their permission, obviously. We didn't just go out there with our camera. We said we were doing a school project, and they were like, sure. And so the idea was that he was going to go and try and blow up a police car. And so we filmed this whole scene where he runs over to the cop car with something in his hand and puts it underneath the cop car. And then we showed the police officer walking down the staircase, and we asked him, could we film you just walking down the stairs going to your car? And they were like, yeah, no problem. So he went to his car, and so when we edited it together, it was him putting the bomb under the car and the cop going to the car. And then for the explosion piece, we took a dinky car, like a little tiny, those little dinky cars, and we we set it on fire. And that was our editing technique to show the cop getting blown up. And our teacher, when it was time to show our videos, he didn't want to show it at first because he thought it'd be too controversial that we were blowing up a cop car. we were essentially killing a cop in our video. It was kind of funny. And we were like, oh, come on, it's a dinky car. Nobody's going to take it seriously. And then the rest of it, we filmed it inside the school because it looked like a mental institution. And we made up this mock straight jacket and all that stuff. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. And we actually had the song playing in the background, but it was a really crappy recording of it. Imagine put that video now on the internet. It actually is on the internet. The girl that was in our band, actually, yeah, that at that time, before we really kind of built up the band, we did have this girl in our class that was playing the drums for us, and she actually had that video and she put it on her Facebook page. And I think she ended up sharing it on my Facebook page. I think it's up there. It's really bad though. And her recording of it is actually just her taking the camera to the TV to record it. It's not an actual proper recording of it, so it's really grainy and crappy. Way to push the envelope in class. Yeah, it was funny. It was even funnier though when the teacher was almost considering not showing it, because it was part of the grade, right? You had to show the class your video, and he almost didn't want to show it. Like, we had to convince him it's nothing. And everybody at that point was even more interested in watching our video because they're like, what controversy is in there? And it was like, give me a break. But it's a bunch of us kids. And we actually, another part of the video was in this abandoned house. So there's there's this old house across the street from the police station actually, and it was windows are boarded up and stuff, and we decided to actually break into that house and shoot the video in there. So yeah, we did quite a few things that were probably not really good. Whoa, dude, that's a huge load of info. Yeah, I totally remember that. That was a lot of fun. That was I think it was grade 12 I was in. So that was quite a while ago. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I remember rewatching that video that she posted. I was like, oh my god, that was us. We're crazy. Anyways, I think I should pack it in now. It's for me, it's almost 11 o'clock p.m. at nighttime, and it's getting late for me, and I gotta get up for work, which is fun. And yeah, I think I should get going. Stu's saying something similar happened to my dad when he was in school. He wrote an essay called "Me and My Friends Blow Up the School," and they made his dad come down to the school and accused him of a bomb threat. Yeah, that totally would happen today. I don't. Yeah, if you do anything even remotely close to that, you're gonna get in trouble. But yeah, that's pretty serious. Anyways, yeah, thanks everybody for coming in. Glad you could all make it. It was a lot of fun. We had a lot of people in today. I don't know what the grand total was. Let's see if I can go check my thing. Well, it looks like we had like 13 people. It's not too bad for a Sunday night. But yeah, we had it in Green Lantern made it today. That was great. And so did the Atari Creep after doing his own stream. And you know, maybe I should rearrange my stream so I'm not doing it at the same time as the Atari Creep. Anyways, hope everybody has a good night, and I shall be uploading a video again on Tuesday. I don't know what video yet. I got a bunch of them here. I got about a whole ton of videos ready to go. So, whichever. And thanks again to the super chats. That was really awesome of you guys. And so yeah, take care. Cut off the stream.